Michael here with My Food Truck Coach. I want to talk to you a little bit about insurance. Not a very fun topic, and frankly, it's kind of an expensive one, but it's necessary. Your corporate clients and even people's homes you go to are all very interested that you have the right insurance coverage. And you should be interested as well. You want to protect your assets, you want to protect your business, and make sure that you're in a place that if something should occur, you do have a safety net in place. First, let's talk about general liability. It is your general business insurance. Someone chokes on a chicken bone, trips and falls over a cord you have, or a step, or they fall into your trash can. Maybe they go to bend down near your shelf and they hit their head on your shelf at the front of your food truck. That's general liability. It's general business insurance. Oftentimes we recommend 2 million aggregate, 1 million per occurrence. Most corporate places are going to accept that. Some are looking for an umbrella. As an event company, Tampa Bay Food Trucks, the other company we carry an umbrella for those reasons. So we have our vendors carry that 2 million, 1 million, then we have our own insurance, and then we have an umbrella as well. We're not going to cover umbrellas today because you really don't need to worry about that. If you get a specific client request, what I would recommend to you is if a client tells you you have to have a certain level of insurance, but it's not what you currently carry, you can say to them, here's my increase in my insurance, and you can pay the difference, and I'm happy to carry that amount of coverage. At one point, we even had Amazon offer to insure like 30 food trucks for another $500,000 because it wasn't worth it for them to take the risk without having that extra coverage. When I went back to them, the total bill was $45,000. They considered it. So don't think you can't go back to your client and say, look, if you need that insurance coverage, I'm getting it just for you. And let them know you're going to have to pick up the bill for this. The other type of insurance that you're going to need, and by the way, that general liability, you're going to get what's called a COI for that at almost every location you go to. That's a certificate of insurance. It basically proves that you have insurance, and it also it gives someone a notification if you have the bottom left-hand corner of that certificate. It'll have a certificate holder, and basically what happens is if you cancel or change your coverage, they're going to mail that individual that's on that. So let's say it's ABC Corporation on Main Street, Tampa, Florida. They'll get that notification that at that address that you've canceled or changed your coverage. So that's why you're doing these COIs. It's a compliance thing. It's for risk mitigation, and most major companies are going to do it. A lot of homeowners will want it as well if they're savvy in insurance to make sure that you actually have insurance. So the second kind of insurance that you need is auto insurance. And oftentimes people don't realize a personal policy doesn't cover business operations. So if you have a standard personal auto policy and you go to tow a trailer, that trailer is covered if it's a U-Haul or it's a landscape trailer and you're taking your grass clippings to the dump, or you're using it for personal purposes. But when you move over to being a food trailer and you're towing that vehicle and it's a commercial business, you no longer have coverage. The only way to get coverage under that policy is to get a business rider from your insurance company, and oftentimes they don't want to do that. They want to know that if you're a business, you have a commercial policy, and it works out better because a lot of times those personal policies, it's not easy to get a certificate of insurance, that document we talked about earlier. This comes around again where you need it for the auto side of things so that if you change your coverage, that named insured is notified. So you want to make sure that you have the right coverage where you're not going to constantly go back and forth with your clients. And the easiest way to do that is just get a commercial auto policy. And once you do that, what we usually recommend is 500,000 combined single limit. If you go to your insurance agent and say, I need a policy for 500,000 combined single limit, and they go, what? You don't have someone who usually works on commercial auto insurance. Is that a problem? No, not necessarily. But they should probably at least be familiar with that lingo, or they're going to pass you to someone else in their office. We're a huge fan of using independent agents. We use Fairchild Addison McCone out of Brandon, Florida, for the whole state of Florida. You may be able to find a local agent that's independent and is willing to shop different carriers. That's usually the best way to go. If you pick up the phone and just call one of these major companies, Progressive, Geico, what have you, State Farm, you're going to get a call center employee that may have only been working there for 2 years, 2 weeks, 2 days, you don't really know, and they can end up giving you not the greatest of information about what you have coverage on. So it's really important that as you do this, you have the right coverage and you can give your confidence to your clients that you have the right coverage. Because let's face it, if you go out there with state minimums and you have 30,000 in property damage, you could back into a BMW motorcycle and you've maxed out your limit, which is crazy. So you really have to think about how much coverage do I need. I would never recommend getting less than 300,000 combined single limit. We require our vendors to get 500,000 combined single limit. So if you don't have anyone giving you that requirement, maybe you're in a smaller market or you're working with smaller companies that don't have those same requirements, 300,000 combined single limit, you don't want to go less than that. So that's really the long and short of insurance. In addition to that, we could talk about workers' comp insurance a little bit. It makes a lot of sense for you to have workers' compensation insurance. You're still responsible for whatever happened to your employees. In the state of Florida, once you hit 4 employees, including yourself, you're required to get workers' comp insurance. I recommend everyone get it just so that if anything happens, somebody's taken care of. And I'll say this in other videos as well, it's important with that workers' comp piece that you show all of your income, or else on the back side of that, if you have a claim yourself on your own workers' comp policy, but cash was going under the mattress, you're not going to have anything to claim income-wise, which is going to hurt in the long run. So I would highly suggest you consider workers' comp. The GL and the auto are absolute requirements, but workers' comp is a good, smart business move. If you guys have any questions about insurance, you can comment below. I'm not an insurance agent. I can talk about it in generalities, but ultimately, just want to make sure you have the right coverage for your business to make sure that you're safe and those around you are as well.